It's really that product that could make or break your skincare routine. Using the wrong moisturizer just ruins everything. Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about how to glow from the inside out. And today we're talking my favorite top 5 moisturizers. Oh yeah, we're rolling on with the top 5 series. So I've already covered my top 5 essences, toner, ceramide products, as well as serums. So it's definitely time to talk about some moisturizers. If you're so ready, give the video a big thumbs up and let's get started. Number 5, Cetaphil Moisturizing Cream. Now, this is one of my favorite moisturizers that really falls into that head to toe category. I mean, I can use this all over my body or right after getting out of the shower. It works for my face, my body, my ashy knees and elbows, and it is really skin nourishing. It's moisturizing. It's occlusive and protective and holds the hydration in place. But what's really beautiful about it is it's not a heavy, dense, like really rich type of cream. It's not overwhelming and like feeling like it's suffocating your skin. It's pretty light and breathable for packing a lot of protection and moisture in just really interesting and unique texture. So it is a very simple, very gentle formula. And that is something that I really appreciate in all my skincare products, but I think especially in moisturizers. There are certain qualities that I want. I don't need a lot of fancy ingredients to get that done. When you open the jar, it does look quite dense. Like it's really packed in there, right? But you will notice that this has a very light, almost balmy like texture to it. As you spread it across your skin, you're going to notice it doesn't have that traditional, very, like I said, heavy, creamy kind of quality. It actually spreads into a really thin layer that sinks into the skin really beautifully. There's no stickiness, no streakiness here. It really does absorb quite nicely, which does make it one of my favorite body products right out of the shower because I don't have to wait too long or like rub it in really hard. It really just, my skin just like sucks it up. You know what I mean? So all that moisture dives deep into the skin. It's not greasy, but it is very nourishing and comforting and really skin softening. And then at the top, you just get this really beautiful layer of occlusivity. And it's not suffocating. It's not waxy. Some balmy type textures can sometimes dry and feel kind of waxy and thick at the surface or like it's sitting on top. This is not that. Really, the absorbency is so good here, but you can tell that the top surface of your skin is resisting the dehydration, resisting the dryness, feeling really protected, really smooth and soft on top, but your skin is breathing so beautifully and it's not being overwhelmed or feeling like your pores are clogging up or anything like that. So I just really love the way that the texture performs, first and foremost, like I said, from the perspective of a body product, sinks into the skin immediately and I can get dressed. Love that. But for face skin, it's also really lovely. I use this a lot in the winter because I need that occlusive quality. I can suffer with dehydration just a little bit more, kind of upticks in the winter when it's really cold, icy, windy, but then the heating inside is drying out the air. And so that is drying out my skin. I need that protective layer to fight that dryness in the air and keep all the beautiful skincare that I spend so long putting on my face, right? Keep all that beautiful skincare and hydration deep within my skin. And so I really like this one because it's not thick, it's not dense. But I can also, if I'm feeling a little dehydrated in the summer, I can wear this in the summer and my skin is not being overwhelmed and weighed down and feeling like it can't breathe. Number 4, Pyunkang Black Tea Enriched Cream. OMG, it's silky, it's luxurious, it's rich, it's moisturizing, it's ultra creamy. This line, the black tea line with Pyunkang, it really is their well-aging line. It is targeting some of the signs of aging within the skin, and it is definitely a complex and sophisticated formula. They don't just think about let's blast your skin with tea, right? They think about aging from a holistic way. Okay, so definitely we want to target some of the signs of aging with the peptides that they've included in the formula. But then the black tea also gives some great antioxidant protection, as well as the ginseng, which supports antioxidant protection but also skin elasticity, and it can also increase the circulation within the skin that gives that really lit from within, that inner glow, right? That shines outwards with lots and lots of health. They think about the skin barrier with the Ceramide NP in here. They think about plumping hydration with the hyaluronic acid, but they've brought it all together in a nourishing, moisturizing, very protective type of cream. And so I really like the ingredients. So it's really working hard for your skin, but I also really like the texture here because, as I said, it's a luxurious experience. It's very creamy, it's very silky, very moisturizing. It feels quite medium weight, I would say, on the skin. This is something that I truly do like to reach for in colder temperatures, less so in the warmer temperatures. So I do have combination skin and I lean very dry in the winter. So this is for skin that is experiencing a little bit more dryness because it is quite rich, a little bit more dense, medium to heavy type of cream. Sinks into the skin like a dream, really softens your skin. So if you do have some dry patches or dryness, this will really be very soothing to those areas, those rough and dry areas on your skin. And just enough occlusivity in here as well if you do have some dehydration. As I was mentioning before, you know, the occlusive ingredients help to hold all the skincare and all the hydration, including the moisture, right, into the skin and just kind of create a little bit of a protective layer on your skin to fight anything outside that is like trying desperately to take away all your hydration and moisture. So I really like this one. Like I said, when I need something a little bit harder working, a little bit more protective, and maybe I want a little bit more benefit than just moisture and occlusivity from my moisturizer. You know, this is a line that I've liked for a really long time. I really do like the eye cream in this line. I love this moisturizer because I'll say, you know, this more rich type of cream texture, real hard to find in K-Beauty. Lots of gel creams, lots of like hydrating, plumping kinds of lighter moisturizers, tons of those. Very little on this more medium to heavier side. Very rich, very moisturizing, very soothing for truly dry skin. This cream starts to really fall into that category, and I think it really does set it apart from a lot of other moisturizers in the K-Beauty market. But I'll say so I've been a fan of this line for a long time, couple of years now. I did actually give some of these products to my cousin who's a little bit older than I am. And I remember that I gave it to her and she texted me like a month later and she was like, I love this stuff. Like, I don't know how to say the brand name, whatever this is, where can I buy it? Because look at how good my skin looks. And I was like, it does look really good. It looks really healthy and really glowing. And so she was really impressed with just the benefits that this line was able to bring to her skin. So it is really all about bringing out that glow, but also really moisturizing it and protecting it and fighting dryness as well. So my number 3 pick was going to be the Pyunkang Blue Label 80 cream. However, and I'm not trying to spark any panic, I think this might be discontinued. It's getting a little bit harder to find. So I don't know if it's going through a reformulation, if it's having stock issues, or if it truly is discontinued. I do not know. Don't panic. Not yet anyways. So I decided instead of talking about that cream, which I do really enjoy, I was going to spotlight something that I originally was going to give an honorable mention, quite honestly, to, but I don't think that's quite fair because I've been using this product so much over the last couple of years that it really does deserve a spot in the top 5. La Roche-Posay Triple Repair Moisturizing Cream. So if you've been watching my content for a while now, you've noticed throughout the years, I've been talking about this product, especially when it comes to wintertime skincare. Because you know, the thing is with moisturizers, it's really that product that could make or break your skincare routine. You know, using the wrong moisturizer just ruins everything. If it's too light, your skin feels like it's getting really dehydrated. It's not feeling protected or nourished. If it's too heavy, you feel like your skin can't breathe, your makeup's not applying really well. Maybe it's pilling or you're getting congestion and acne, right? So it really is one of those products that you really have to not only suit your skin type, but you need to sometimes suit your skin needs and the environment around you. And so I talk about this moisturizer a lot in the context of winter routines because my skin does go quite dry. It's a combination, but it can go quite dry because of what's happening out there, what's happening in here, as I mentioned earlier. So I do suffer with a lot of dryness, and this is a true straight up dry skin cream. Don't touch this if you have oily skin. Just don't even bother. If you have combination skin that does not feel dry, don't touch this cream. Trust me, because the reason why I wanted to call it an honorable mention, then I was like, you know what, you really have to put it into your top 5, is because I have sort of a love-hate with this one. I fluctuate with this a lot in the winter. I really like it. I love it. My skin enjoys it so much. In any other season, it's way too heavy for me. It's too thick, and it can actually sometimes cause some congestion on my skin when I use it in the wrong season and with the wrong skin needs, right? So like I said, I kind of fluctuate with it, but it is a really great dry skin moisturizer. It's fantastic for your skin barrier because the ingredients very minimal. La Roche-Posay, all about sensitive skin, right? So they focus in on shea butter, very nourishing, niacinamide, which is barrier restorative, as well as some ceramide NP in here. And it's this very thick, very dense type of cream. It is very, very rich. It does pack quite a weight and a punch to it. It has very good absorbency into the skin. You're going to feel a bit of emolliency at the top. And then there is a really nice occlusive, very good seal it in factor. It's moisturizing deep within, but it's also creating a very good protective layer on top of your skin. And I will say, like love-hate relationship, you've noticed me over this last winter period, I was mixing it into a little bit of a lighter, more medium type of moisturizer just to kind of cut down on the denseness and the heaviness of it, because I needed the moisture and I needed the skin repairing abilities of this cream, but I just kind of wanted to cut down just a little bit on that really heavy, rich, dense feel on my skin. And that actually worked beautifully for me, for my skin. So really protective and very necessary for me in the winter time. And it has been very helpful for any bouts of heavier dryness. Is that the right way? Just more severe dryness on my skin. It's been really great for that, but it's kind of an occasional seasonal type of product for me. I did also want to mention it though, because this is a top 5. So I'm talking about products that I don't just like for a season. These are products that I've used for years. These are products that I've emptied multiples of, these are products that have been with me for a long time. Well, I do have sort of like this fluctuating relationship for use on my face. I will say this is a great body cream because my face is combination, but my skin is all dry, all dry. And this is a really lovely body moisturizer, much more moisturizing, very rich. And again, much more dense than the Cetaphil cream that we kicked the video off with. So this one I think takes a little bit longer to sink into the body skin, but when you need more richness, more nourishment, your skin is very dry. Maybe you have patchy, like dry patches on your skin. I was talking about my ashy knees and elbows. Sometimes they can get kind of rough if they don't get the TLC that they need, which is often in the winter time, right? They need a little bit of extra. This is so nourishing. Very occasionally, it hasn't happened for a few years, but very occasionally I will get some eczema around my knees. And I have had it on my torso once before, and this is the perfect type of cream for that because it's very, very gentle. It's very much focused on nourishing the skin, creating that protective layer that actually does promote healing on the skin. And it's very soothing as well, and will really soften any rough patches. So if it can work on body eczema, it can also just work on your scaly knees and elbows or any ashy or dry areas that you have on your skin. And now we're getting into the top 2, and I'll say as I reveal these products, they could really be interchangeable. Both of these could really be in the top spot. I really just couldn't figure out which way to do it. So just so you know, both of these products live very, very deeply in my heart. But I have decided that my number 2 pick is going to be the Illiyoon Ceramide 8.0 Concentrate Cream. Oh, Illiyoon, how I love thee, let me count the ways. So nourishing, so silky, so barrier supportive, so good. I love this one. I've been talking about this moisturizer since 2019. I absolutely adore it. And, they did do a pretty significant reformulation in 2022 that did change the cream quite a bit. And I will say I do mourn the old version of Illiyoon, quite honestly. But all that being said, I really like the new formula as well. The new formula is definitely richer. It's more moisturizing. It has a little bit more a little bit more emolliency to it because they added some oil-based ingredients into the reformulation that definitely made it a little bit thicker. But it's still a really lovely, luxurious, silky cream at a very affordable price and a very good value. Now, this is a ceramide-based cream, and you do see the word ceramide all the way at the bottom of the list. And I did talk about this in my top 5 ceramide skincare video. This was part of that video. And as I explained in that video, yes, ceramide NP is here at the bottom of the list, but they're actually using another version of ceramides, ceramide PC104, which has a different in-key name that isn't as recognizable to the eye because it doesn't have the word ceramide in it. But it's much higher up on the list, and it is a very barrier restorative, a great lipid for your skin. So just in case anybody feels like it's a scam, it's not. It's just a little bit of a different formulation here. And what's really cool about this cream is it actually does contain capsules that help to keep the ceramides and all the lipids and the barrier restorative ingredients really efficacious and fresh and potent for your skin. And it's supposed to deliver it more deeply into your skin. What's important to know about these capsules is they look really cool. They are helping to support the overall formula, but you will not feel them on your skin. They're not going to feel like little beads as you put your moisturizer onto your skin. They actually are very melty. You don't feel anything at all. And then they just kind of like, as you swipe the cream across your skin, they start to melt into your skin. So you don't really feel anything, which is nice. Now you'll notice this has like a very medium, fluffy, kind of rich looking, silky cream texture. And that's exactly how it feels. It is very luxurious. It sinks in the skin quite well. There is like a deep moisturization factor to this. What I mean by deep is just, it doesn't just like make the top of your skin feel soft. It really seems like it sinks in deeper because it's really repairing your skin, if you know what I mean. Like just there's a certain feeling of something that is just really hugging and nourishing and sinking deeply into the skin and moisturizing it at a deeper level, if that makes sense. That's how I feel when I use this cream. It's just so nourishing, so comforting. It's medium weight on the skin. And as I mentioned, there are a few oil ingredients in here. So there is a little bit more of an emolliency and a richness, and you will feel that a little bit at the top surface of your skin. There are occlusive ingredients in here, silicones that help to create that occlusive barrier that helps to hold all that moisturization, all that skin softness, and all your other skincare products keep that deep inside of your skin and resist any dehydration from the environment around you, right? And it is definitely a helpful element to have if you are suffering with barrier issues. You know, this was a cream that I really fell in love with back, like I said, in 2019, when I was kind of coming out of the worst of my skin barrier woes, but I wasn't quite around the corner just yet. I was still kind of struggling with my skin barrier. I was still struggling with really, I think, honestly, just kind of accepting my skin sensitivities at that point in time, and really just having a lot of trial and error with my skin. And so this was a moisturizer that helped my skin bounce back. It helped to keep my skin strong through a lot of those errors that I was making, right? And it was just really something that worked so well for my skin type. And as the moisturizer has gotten a little bit more rich through the reformulation that I mentioned a few years ago, it definitely is more moisturizing. It's got a little bit more heft on the skin, but I still find it very moisturizing, very skin protective, but still silky and just really, really a beautiful, beautiful moisturizer all around. And my number one is Cerave moisturizing cream. Yeah, I know it's kind of boring. I know everybody says this is their favorite moisturizer, but truly this is one that I've been using right around the same time as Illiyoon, about 2018, 2019 era, and I really do love it. And as I mentioned, you know, Illiyoon, Cerave, number one, number two, they could be interchangeable. It was actually really hard for me to make the decision. The reason why I chose the ranking that I did, which really it's very arbitrary, right? The reason that I did is just because I feel like in the last like year and a half, I've bought more tubes of Cerave than I have of Illiyoon, and that's simply just due to accessibility. I can go to any store where I live here in the United States and buy Cerave. Illiyoon, I have to order, you know what I mean, from overseas and then wait for it to ship to me, which it doesn't always make a lot of sense, right? So that's really purely the reason why I ranked it the way I did. I guess the other reason that I would mention as well is that I find myself being able to use Cerave year round in any season. And as I mentioned, Illiyoon used to be like that for me. They reformulated it in 2022, and while I still like it, it's not something that I necessarily reach for in the summertime. And that is the very fine difference between these two textures, quite honestly. It's just a little less rich, just a little less dense, just a little less heavy, in my opinion, than Illiyoon is, than the Pyunkang black tea enriched cream is. And so I also find it to be a little bit more barrier restorative for me than the Cetaphil moisturizing cream is. So that's how it kind of ranks and compares to everything else that we've talked about. And it's definitely lighter than the Roche-Posay cream that we talked about, right? So it just kind of has every little element that I like in just that perfect texture package. And I like that it doesn't leave my skin feeling shiny either. There's something just really nice about the almost like, I call it almost like a satiny finish to this, because it's not overly emollient. So you're not getting that rich sort of shine on top of your skin, but it's not so dense and silicone-y that you're getting like a mattified effect either. It's just like a really nice satiny effect. And it actually is fantastic under makeup. And like, it just kind of works, you know, it is kind of boring and it is kind of everywhere and overexposed, but it just kind of works. And it's another one, as I've mentioned, you can tell that I really do appreciate this in my creams head to toe. This can be a really great head to toe cream. It stopped being a head to toe cream for me personally, because they keep jacking up the price of this since the pandemic, and since its popularity, I feel like it's gone up quite a bit in dollars. So that's kind of annoying. So I actually just stopped using it for head to toe. I think Cetaphil is a better value for that particular purpose. That's just me. That's just where I'm at in my life and how I've been noticing the pricing changing of this, quite honestly. But for me, you know what I value. It's all about the performance, the texture, right, in the ingredients. And so this just, it's just really hard for me to get away from that because it just works so well for me. So I'm curious, what's a top moisturizer for you? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see any other of my top 5 skincare lists, definitely check out the pinned comment where I have the playlist with all of my updated 2025 picks. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If you love the video, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you're never out of the loop. Please keep shining your light. I love you so much, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.